With the COVID-19 pandemic control measures, among which involves social distancing aimed at reducing physical contact, the reading culture in our universities takes a sharp corner from physical to electronic. Taking Technical University of Mombasa as our case study on electronic library, these are some of the few questions that most of the staff and the students ask. How can they access the e-library resources? How effective is the e-library services? And what importance does it have over the physical library? Speaking to Ms. Kochumba Teresaya Tieno, the Senior Library Assistant in charge of e-resources and references, she clarifies the different sections of the library which most of the students do not know.
In the library, we have various departments. We do have the circulation, where students come and borrow books. We have the Africana section, where we have content about Africans for Africans. We also have the research thesis, where students can come and do their research. Apart from that, we have the technical section, where all the books are processed. We have a digital center, where students can come and use the electronic resources via the computers that we offer. We also have an archives, where we store all content that is no longer in current use, but is still consulted by students. So that encompasses the library.
Additionally, Ms. Kochumba says it's a couple of years now since the introduction of e-library, which according to her comprises of e-books, e-journals, and electronic past papers. But prior to COVID-19, was it working?
Prior to COVID, we'd actually encourage students to access e-resources. Mainly because if you're not in campus, and could be you want to consult books, then you could access them from whichever part of the world, so long as you have the internet. But since the onset of COVID, we decided to encourage more usage of e-resources.
With the institution's population of more than 10,000 students, the policy only allows approximately 50 students be accommodated for physical learning, perhaps to reduce the physical contacts. The Senior Library Assistant in charge of e-resources and references, Ms. Kochumba, encourages both the staff and students to use the electronic resources for their courses, adding that their databases have all the information on all the courses that the institution offers, which is easily accessed either on campus or off campus through your phones, laptops, or computers. In this image, I am chatting on WhatsApp with a first-year student pursuing Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Computer Science. He asks on how he can access past exam papers of the university. Not just him alone. Instead, it remains the big question on the ground, both to the staff as well as the student. Speaking to Ms. Kochumba, she gives the following guide on how to access the e-resources using a computer.
So how to access our e-resources? The first step is you go to our TUM websites, which is www.tum.ac.ke. I think you're familiar with the page, right? Yes. So from the top, there is the library tab. Everything related to the library is in the library page. So you click on library. And this is how our home page looks like. We have the library home, the rules and regulations. We have the library catalog, which is the OPAC. The OPAC is a tool that enables you to access, to locate books in the library, the physical library. It gives you something called a call number, which helps you to locate books in the library. And this is how it looks like. So from here, what you do is just conduct a simple search, which is you type the title of the book that you want to access. For example, which course are you doing?
Journalism.
So we can try if we have a journalism book, right? Then you click on search. So those are the journalism books that we have. And to locate the book, there is the line at the bottom talking about availability and call number. So availability, items available for load, meaning it's in the library. And this is the call number PN5114.K, telling you that the book is in hall C, a shelf labeled PN. So this is how you access the physical books in the library using the OPAC. We can move on to the ebooks now, right? The electronic resources we are talking about. From the library homepage, we can come here and at the bottom where it's labeled library resources, you click on e-resources database.
And while guiding on how to access the e-resources, she says every user must have a library account with the institution because it's those accounts that the office use to control the number and the people who access the institution's library resources. But how can the students and the staff have the library accounts? Ms. Kochumba says a form is sent to them to fill their details, then the office creates an account for them. These forms are available at the library premise. Therefore, in explaining this, she decides to use her library account that requests for the username and the password so that she access to the homepage for the databases.
So from there, I will just log in with my own username and password.
Yeah.
And that is the homepage for the databases.
Okay.
For you to access a list of all the databases that you have. As I'd mentioned earlier, we have databases that are specific to certain subject areas, for example, physics, chemistry, agriculture. We also have databases that are multidisciplinary. They contain an array of subject areas. So for you to know the list of databases that you have, you come to this tab here. Click on it, click on databases, and click on go.
Now at the databases, what does it contain? Ms. Kochumba says we have the databases that contain books, and in the same way one accesses the physical books from cover to cover is the same way certain databases appear. On top of that, we have databases that contain journals, conference papers, and standouts. But in this case, she picked the database that contains books, which she refers as an library. What is the directive? Step 1, get to the library homepage. Step 2, fill your username and the password. It shall open with a search bar where you can type the title of the book you want or the author's name. That aside, another issue in question is how to acquire and access the past exam papers. What does she say?
We also have past papers online. Back to our library page. At the top, we have the exam bank. That is where all our past papers are. So just click on exam bank. We urge all students to also remember the unit name and the unit code because there are certain courses that have similar units, right? The codes might be different, but the unit name is similar. And to avoid the challenge of revising for a paper that is not relevant to you, then it's better to know the unit name and the unit code. Maybe you can give me an example of the course you're doing currently. Public opinion and persuasion. I hope this is the code, BMC. Yes. So if this is the paper that you want, you just come and you click on the title. And this is what you get. Below the view and open, there is a link. Click on the link and it opens up for you the past paper, and there you go.
On the side of the students, I get to interview one by the name Shani, a third-year student pursuing mathematics science. She accepts that she has been accessing the e-resources but admits that the website is associated by network problems.
Okay, the experience of using the e-library has been so tricky sometimes due to the network system, and this sometimes the students are so many who are logging in the e-library, so the website is so slow, but it's a safer place to get the notes and to do your studies for personal studies.
Another fourth-year student by the name Stella Mumbi, pursuing Bachelor's of Business Information and Technology, BBIT, and has been using the institution's e-resources. What is her experience?
E-library services have been good. We have past papers, we have books in the e-platform, and now we can book resources online. So I have read through the past papers and they were good enough because they guided me through to see what was happening and what I could read. So we performed well in the exam.
Back to Ms. Kochumba, she explains a few benefits of the e-resources, emphasizing that it's convenient to all students and staff, regardless of your location. Secondly, she says one book or journal in electronic format can be used by different students through download options or read online options, unlike the case in the physical library. Lastly, she adds that the library shifts from the era in which past papers used to be filed, associating that era to bulkiness, loss of papers, and paper fading. However, with the electronic era, the above problems are solved. Despite the e-resources having important benefits to students and the staff, Ms. Kochumba explains the few challenges that her office has so far encountered.
The challenge is, in as much as we have all this content, some of our students are not accessing them simply because they're not aware of it. The other challenge is internet. When you say that students can access this content from home, how sure are we that they have internet at home to access the content? But moving forward, we hope to create more awareness from marketing, from activities, and also communicating through the class reps on how to access e-resources. We also have a few training sessions, but I feel like we need to have more so that all our students are aware of the content that we have and how to access them.
Conclusively, to provide solutions to those challenges, Ms. Kochumba urges the users to always get in touch with the library personnel for assistance by providing their contacts.
And for those who want to contact us and reach us, you can either walk to the library physically and talk to any of the staff members, or you can reach us on Library Help Desk at tum.ac.ke or on our Facebook page at Technical University of Mombasa Library. Welcome to the library.
Madam Teresia Kochumba, thank you so much.
Karibu.